The word IoTA has two distinct meanings. As a noun, 1. A tiny or scarcely detectable amount. 2. The ninth letter of the Greek alphabet.
Welcome to IoTA for Tuesday, August 2nd. I am Tony Lynn. IoTA is a daily news podcast focused on the Internet of Things industry, where we talk about all the really cool stuff that's going on with IoT these days. And there's more and more each day. So let's get started with the top stories of the day. PR Newswire reports that HAE Innovations launches IoPass, a new and powerful IoT device development platform. IoPass is a solution for developers, integrators, and service assurance providers. This is a testing tool that allows for users to test their designs from the chip design all the way to service deployment. We talked a little bit about this over the past couple of days, particularly along the lines of having the digital twins to have the ability to design and develop from the device up. Now that there's actually some real QA type tools that are out there as well, this is a good sign. You need those kind of things in order to make sure that what you're building is actually of quality. Kate Donardi writes in Merit Talk about how IoT is powering smart schools. This is a new concept for most, and not a lot of schools have adopted this yet. However, many schools have identified that IoT offers give benefits to instruction and learning outcomes, including increased student engagement, more mobile learning, personalized instruction, improved efficiency, and reduced cost. The drawback of any IoT deployment, particularly in a school, is the high cost of entry and interoperability between devices. Many schools now need an IT manager to deal with all of the current and new technology that's coming in from Wi-Fi. Some of the things they have right now are interactive whiteboards, camera and video, tablets and ebooks, 3D printers, smart HVAC, electric and temperature sensors, attendance tracking, and wireless door locks. There was an article, or not an article, it was a story on our local television show just yesterday, because school was back in session yesterday for most of Metro Atlanta. There was some discussion about how there's a school that is all digital now. And my son was quick to point out to me, he's like, well, Dad, we've had that for years. And he's true. Where my kids go to school, it's a brand new campus, is only about 6 years old now. And when they built it to be very tech savvy. And at the time, they put in all the smart whiteboards, most of the interactivity between each classroom works well. They do have 3D printers there as well. And nowadays, and I'm very excited to see my freshmen now able to take digital design and web design, and actually start to get those skills before he gets out of school. In addition, not to continue along this path line, but they have a high, they're very into the remotely operated vehicles. They actually have an ROV club at their schools, and our teams have actually won the regional championships 2 years in a row. So these sorts of things are starting to become more and more prevalent in schools. And perhaps Kate, I know as she's writing this, she did a broad brush, but I think some of these things actually inside of the cities or closer to cities maybe have a higher prevalence of this. And I'm interested to know, anyone out there in a school district that maybe is not in the metro area, do you have these sorts of things in your school district as well? Please drop me a line, I'd like to know. All right, so we talk a lot about platforms, but what is an IoT platform? The term is thrown about to mean anything, but Teresa Bui of IT Pro Portal tries to clear it all up. She maintains that there are three types of platforms to be considered. The first is IaaS, otherwise known as infrastructure as a service. Systems such as Azure, AWS, Google, any of these type of systems that allow you to manage the back-end hardware so that you don't have to go buy your own. And so that those are considered platforms in which to house your data, basically, is what it is. Second, there's the hardware-specific platforms, so meaning the software infrastructure built into the chipset. Think about Arduino, Raspberry Pi, any of the other chips that we've been talking about over the past several weeks. All of these tend to have their own flavor, their own brand of a platform in which to develop code onto. And then finally, there are the consumer enterprise software extensions. And this is, when you start thinking about things such as maybe Predix, maybe HealthKit from Apple, and the Samsung Nestle platform we talked about yesterday. So when you hear the term IoT platform, you probably want to dive a little deeper, make sure that the platform they're referring to is the platform that you're hoping they're talking about. All right, this is a nice fun piece. Kate Lawrence of ReadWrite. We get a lot of stories from ReadWrite. They are at least very focused on IoT. But anyway, she outlines the best and worst devices launched in July. Smart handbags have a thin film built into them to avoid counterfeiting. I didn't realize that there was a lot of counterfeiting in handbags, but I guess there are. And a thin film at least gives you the ability to, sort of make sure that the handbag that's out there was actually your handbag. I guess we'll be having handbag police here soon. The Kai Band is designed to keep up with children. It's basically like a Fitbit that goes around the wrist, something to keep kids from wandering off too much. It actually will have a GPS sensor in as well. So if they do wander off, you can go find them. And if for some reason the thing is submerged, it sends out an alert pretty quick so that mom and dad can get the child maybe out of the water. Honestly, I think if once a kid has something like this becomes a trolling device to just drive mom and dad crazy. So this one was not well received. Next is the LV. I'm not really sure I wanted to report on this one, but anyway, let's go for it. It actually helps women address pelvic floor dysfunction. I'm not going to explain anything more than that. Just note that the device, although it has been a success in its deployment, I don't know. I don't know where this is going, and I'm sure if this device takes off as well as it has, then there will be other industries that probably follow suit. I don't know if you want to keep your eyes on that one or not. There's the Dubstein, which has built-in speakers in a thermal mug. Basically, think of a giant beer stein with a couple Bluetooth speakers on either side, and it's designed to keep your beverage hot or cold and blast out whatever music that you might have. Frankly, if you're relying on a mug to play your tunes, I think you're backing up. There's the Tree Wi-Fi. This is actually released in Amsterdam, which monitors the air quality. And if the air quality is good, then it glows green. If it's bad, it glows red. If the air quality is really good, then it'll actually share its Wi-Fi signal with anyone around it and give, I guess, ideas on how to keep the air quality cleaner. I'm not really sure. I mean, although this is considered a win, and I think it's a cool idea, I'm not sure how fast you could change the air quality to make it worthwhile. I don't know. Maybe our good friend Venke will let us know. Let's see. And then finally, there is the Portfolio, which is basically a piggy bank, and it looks like a pig. They can keep up with how much is inside of it via mobile app. And although this was considered a loss, I think it's a pretty cool idea. So one of the problems I always had growing up was throwing all my money into my Donald Duck piggy bank, and then never knowing how much was in there, and trying to get the money out of a piggy bank. It was always painful because it never came out easily. At least it wasn't one of those that you smash. It was plastic, so you could get it out. But having a smart piggy bank, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Warwick Ashford of ComputerWeekly.com reports that ARM is continuing to add to its security team, which it acquired from Sansa Security a year ago. Sansa started out with 90 original engineers, and they've added another 40 since then. And as we reported a couple weeks ago, ARM was just recently purchased by SoftBank, and SoftBank committed to continuing to pour money into IoT. And I think this is a little too early for that to be bearing fruit. But however, they're continuing to spend money into it. So it may be actually a part of the acquisition, and that they need to be shoring up some things before they get started. And our last story of the day is from Investors Business Daily. And they report that Verizon is buying Fleetmatics for $2.4 billion. Fresh off its acquisition of Yahoo. If you didn't hear about that, this is not the place for me to report it. Go to Daily Tech News and listen to Tom Merritt tell you about it. But basically, Verizon bought Yahoo last week. And they're adding web-connected cars and telematics services to its current IoT offerings. Verizon and AT&T are maybe considered one of the two largest IoT connectivity side of the house, although they really wouldn't be known as more than that. I don't know. Time will tell. I'm getting nervous with a carrier like that trying to buy up too much. It reminds me of when Comcast bought in NBC, and now they own the content as well as the wire. To me, that's a problem, and I think Verizon also buying up this. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but basically, Fleetmatics is a commercial fleet and mobile workforce management, providing data on vehicle location, fuel usage, speed, and mileage. This isn't the first such investment by Verizon or its chief rival AT&T. Fleetmatics itself is a pretty cool idea. Recently, I had an opportunity to maybe work with some way to manage where a vehicle might be, wherever it's at in the United States. And although GPS is a good solution, the problem with it is that when you get out into remote areas is that you can't always know where the vehicle might be. These things work really great inside of municipalities or metro areas, but once you get out into the wild, think the desert out toward Las Vegas. So how do you manage, or how do you know where these things are? And so I did a little research into like what are the current systems using. Trucks always have the big devices on the back of them, and they're relying on more of a satellite type technology, and it's a lot more expensive. So I'm curious to see this actually get a little bit bigger, get a little bit more ability to monitor these kind of things, and perhaps maybe knowing the exact inch or the exact location of a vehicle is not really the important part, is knowing the relative location of it, particularly in remote areas. Anyway, whatever your thoughts are, please let me know. As always, if you're enjoying what I'm doing here and you want to support and make me make this better, get better graphics, better sound, better whatever, I'm more than happy to. I'm actually enjoying this quite a bit. But you're more than welcome to support us at patreon.com/tonamuck. If you want to leave us feedback, you want to comment, you want to be part of the show, then my email address is tonamuck@gmail.com. You can always find me at Tonamuck on Twitter, or any of my projects at www.tonamuck.com. Until tomorrow, have a good day.